That's 4 straight dubs by Patty Waz boys after starting the season 0-3. Waz made some tough changes and decisions to both his roster and coaching staff, but it seems like this team is trending in the right direction. So let's talk some Alice hockey with Stefen Rosner from NHL.com and the L Monitors. My guy, first time talking this year in a long time, man. Hope all's been well, but let's go straight into what's been going on the island. Again, 4 straight after dropping his first 3. So how big of a win was it last night against Detroit, and what has stuck out to you most about this team during last night's win and during this 4-game run, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that you see from last night is they took advantage of the schedule. The Detroit Red Wings had just lost 4-2 to Buffalo the night before. They were a tired team, and the Islanders made them pay. But this is an Islanders team that's learning a new system, a new style under Matthew Darch as the GM, and philosophies that Patrick Waugh has, and they want to play a fun, fast, exciting brand of hockey. And unfortunately, there are some guys that just took a little bit longer for them to figure it out. But last night was the definition of, I don't call it perfect, but as perfect as we've seen this team play. They were scoring off the rush, scoring 7 goals. But they're also defending off the rush. They were really quick with their reads. So it was a really impressive performance. And I just think this is how the Islanders have to play. If they're going to play like this and play defensively the way they played last night, things bode well for this team. And I think they're going to keep the winning going.
Yeah, and you heard Patrick Waugh say after the game that David Riddick was absolutely outstanding in goal last night. They fired the old goalie coach on Monday after the win over the Sharks. I know it's only 1 game, Stefen, but overall, you feel like that changeup was the right move? Like, did you see an immediate improvement in goal?
Yeah, I think it was an immediate improvement with the team in general. When you see a coach get fired, usually it's not always the coach's fault. And it's hard to blame Piero Greco, who's been here since Lou Lamoriello got here back before the start of the 2018-19 season, to blame them for the goaltending issues, especially the struggles with Ilya Sorokin. I think it's about accountability. I think Matthew Darch making that move, woke the team up a little bit. You saw them play their best defensive brand of hockey in front of their goalie, and David Riddick played phenomenal. And you hope to see Ilya Sorokin play phenomenal when he starts against Philly. So I think the goaltending looked great, but I think overall it sent a message that, Darch may be new here, but he's going to make changes if he thinks changes are necessary, and that puts onus on everybody from the goalies to the defense to the forwards. So I think it woke the group up for sure defensively.
Yeah, as a player, it puts you on notice too. It also lets you know that management or the people upstairs, the front office, they're not afraid to make a change or a tough decision, and you like to see that. So I think that just watching it, I think it was a tough decision, but it was the right move to make. Let's look ahead a little bit, because Long Island native Marshall Warren is going to make his NHL debut tomorrow versus Philly. For the folks that may not be familiar with who this kid is, what's he going to bring to this roster?
Yeah, he's from Laurel Hollow, Long Island. Grew up a diehard Islander fan, and you saw a call-up coming for him. This is a guy that looked really good in training camp and preseason, really fast, more of a two-way defenseman. He doesn't get enough credit, I don't think, for his offense, but he's overall sound in all 3 zones. And he was named AHL Player of the Week last week, had 5 points in 4 games with Bridgeport, and he's going to bring a spark. And also having a guy from Long Island that, skated at Iceworks, their old practice ring, played in the junior Islander programs for the little kids, to now get to wear that crest in an NHL game. And I'll throw this fun story out there. Last year, the Islanders went to Philly for preseason, and they brought Marshall Warren, but he didn't play. And Patrick Waugh said, want to give him a taste of what it could be like. He took warm-ups, but he never got into the game. And it's cool that his first NHL game will come in that building, the one that he didn't get to play in last year, and he's earned the right to do that tomorrow.
That's pretty dope, man. Overall, as a team, again, they play Philly tomorrow. Can they keep this momentum going?
Yeah, if they can play the way they played defensively last year, and their goaltenders don't have to worry about being perfect, they could play against any team in this league and find a way to win. And the Flyers, they're not going to be a great team this year. And then they play Boston, who's really struggled late in the week before going to Carolina and Washington. These next 2 games are huge. You go from down 0-3 to start the year, losing your first 3 games. You rattle off 4 wins, and the vibes are immaculate right now. From practice to the locker room to the wins, the crowd, everything's on your side. So if the Islanders can play the way they played last night or at close to that, things bode well for them going forward. I mean, this is, it's a long road. As an athlete, like the season's a long grind, but if you get these wins early, they count as much as the wins late. And for the Islanders, they could get the win against Philly and build on their win against Detroit. That's huge for the momentum of this group.
Yeah, it's all about stacking W's, man. That momentum can carry over, and you never know what can happen throughout the course of a season. So if you can go on some sort of run early in the season, that kind of helps you on the back end if you're dealing with injuries or just you're on the bad end of a run, you know. So I love what Patty Wise is doing, man. Love how he's come in, had that taking that tough guy approach, but at the same time being able to read the room and make these changes. And man, we've been doing these videos for these interviews for a couple years now, man. Appreciate you always hopping on. Love what you're doing out there, man. Keep going.